Leave your thoughts down below, subscribe, click that notification bell. Is the show too woke for you?
Keep your politics out of my life.
Keep your source material out of my comic
Keep your source material. Keep the function of these allegorical parallels out of my storytelling.
What's happening there, Reject Nation? Greg and John here. Today, what are we gonna watch?
We're gonna watch Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 5.
Episode 5 today, baby. I'm excited. Well, as you guys know, you gotta hit that like button if you like any part of this video at all. Subscribe and click that notification bell to get notified when our next reaction is up while you're waiting for Blind Wave's reaction to go up. And I don't know if you've heard me mention this before. Maybe you have, but I don't know if they have. Full-length watch-alongs where you sync up with the time code. They're over at our Patreon page. It's well worth it. Trust me, better than Bed Bath & Beyond, that's what I say. And over there, we cover so many shows. We're at the same tier. You get the, you know what, at this point, you already know what the deal is. Thank you to Eric over at Nerd Chronic for editing these reaction highlights for us. You're the best, man. Lastly, I want to thank John for being here.
Oh, thank you for being here.
John, you are the Lamar to my John Walker.
That is an honor, Greg. Thank you. Ah, I just feel so loved. Avenge me.
Here we go. Here we go.
Boy. But first,
let's not forget
let's
the Marvel
feel
logo.
triumphant.
Yeah. I need to get the hell out of Dodge, man.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Shit! Shit!
Wow, that's an epic shot.
Yeah.
We don't want anyone else to get hurt.
They're relishing in that shield, man.
You gotta give me the shield, man. You almost got me. You don't want to do this. Yeah, we do.
Ooh.
You knew this was coming, Pete.
Get your shield back when you fix this damn door.
Nice.
Oh. Oh.
Ouch. God, they're getting hit with the shield.
Oh. Ooh. Oh, damn.
Oh, he's got the shield.
He got it on though. Yeah, he got his on.
Why are you making me do that?
Oh, his arms like glitching.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, dude.
Nice. That was awesome.
Rad, dude. That sweep, yeah.
We could have been a team.
God. Every time they show the shield.
Oh, there you go. Take him for a ride.
Oh no. Now let
That's
go.
some pretty badass choreography.
Oh man. Oh.
Oh, you piece of shit.
I am Captain America.
Ooh, no, no.
Oh.
He clipped his wings.
And it looked like he was about to repeat his scene outside.
Hell yeah.
Ow.
It's like trying to take the glove off Thanos, man.
I know, seriously.
Ah! Oh, what did they do exactly?
He like broke his arm, like
It just
bent
felt
backwards.
so painful.
Oh.
Ooh. Damn, it takes a lot of work to take this guy down.
Yeah, he am Captain America. Pick it.
Ooh, what a great moment.
Yeah.
What a great moment.
Pick the shield up and yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
You're the new Captain America.
Like when Walker's been holding it, the point of the star has been upside down like a pentagram.
Good catch.
Hey, you got your sleeve back.
Torres.
Hey.
How'd these break?
Look at that foreshadowing.
Next time.
You know?
Thanks, Torres.
For sure.
Just gonna walk out carrying the shield.
Yeah, you know, whatever.
You forgot the wings.
Keep them.
Oh, we're transitioning, boy. Dude.
You start by visiting Lamar's parents. They need to see you. And then we can build.
Who's this?
It's the therapist.
Well, these boots are not made for walking.
Is that? It is?
Louis-Dreyfus?
So you can just call me Val, but don't call me Val. Just keep it in your head.
Oh, wow.
You did the right thing. Taking the serum. Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, don't worry about the shield. I know you don't have it.
What the hell?
It doesn't really belong to the government. It's kind of a legal gray area.
Cool.
There's nothing on it.
Just says watch Veep.
The statue. He got to the statue.
And so did Bucky.
Bucky's gonna let him go.
I warned Sam, but he didn't listen to me. He's as stubborn as Steve Rogers before him. James, do what needs to be done.
I appreciate the advice, but we're gonna do it our own way.
God, they used the scores again. I love them. Love that. I'm in therapy. Oh, it's right at the Dora Milaje. Nice.
I took the liberty of crossing off my name in your book. I hold no grudges for what you thought you had to do. Goodbye, James.
For now.
Yeah.
It would be prudent to make yourself scarce in Wakanda for the time being, White Wolf.
Fair enough.
How often is he going in Wakanda?
I know. Doesn't seem like it'd be too hard.
Let me have another favor to ask of you.
I want to join a basketball team.
Can you teach me how to dunk?
Did you know Eli does not become a superhero? In the comics,
Yeah,
he does not
definitely he's
amount
not
to
going
anything
to.
and never
No.
becomes a superhero. I want to make sure I fact check everything before we talk on the internet about this.
He gets old and never avenges anyone.
I need to understand.
You understand.
Wow, yeah, this really reflects on Sam.
I used to be like you. Until I opened my eyes. Until I saw men in the red tails. Fight for this country. Only to come home to find crosses burned on their lawn.
But you were a super soldier like Steve. You could have been the next.
The next? What?
Steve did not put you in jail.
I'm so happy the show's exploring this.
Yeah.
They experimented on me. Trying to figure out why the serum worked.
We gotta do something.
Leave me dead. My name is buried.
But the world's different now. I know people.
You think I wouldn't be dead in a day if you brought me out? You want to believe jail was my fault? Because you got that white man's shield. They erased me. My history. But they've been doing that for 500 years. Pledge allegiance to that, my brother. Never let a black man be Captain America. No self-respecting black man would ever want to be.
What would it mean for a black man in this country to hold up the Captain America mantle?
Just dropping this off. You can sign for it and I'll go.
He's just white savioring the whole thing, isn't he?
Yeah, man, just swooping in, taking all the credit.
Political commentary.
I don't always think of it immediately. I'm right-handed.
I really love that line.
That's a truly character-oriented piece of comedy right there.
I'm Bucky.
Sarah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That guy. He's the one that killed our boy?
Ooh.
I hope you can find some measure of peace in that.
Knowing that the man who's responsible got his justice.
If you ever need me, I'm always here for you.
Yo, White Russell is a freaking phenomenal actor.
He's a pretty great actor.
He's in his own show in this episode.
I know, right? Somewhere in a vault, there's 6 episodes about him.
Oh, please, if it weren't for me, you'd still be rotting away in that Algerian prison. I can give you double this time. I promise you won't regret saying yes.
Double this time?
Oh.
Is she the responsible for the first mission when we saw him? Batroc?
Sounds like it, yeah.
In the show, you know what I mean?
Yeah. When Sam was, flying after him and all that stuff.
This kid's playing with the shield, hell yeah.
Oh,
yes! We're getting to see.
Nice.
About damn time. Wow, that's scary.
Yeah, that's POV.
When Steve told me what he was planning, I don't think either of us really understood what it felt like for the black man to be handed the shield. I owe you an apology.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. Closest thing I've got left to a family. So when you retired it made me feel like I had nothing left.
Oh, wow. I love how they're just playing like catch with this.
Yeah.
Playing frisbee and talking.
I've been making amends.
You weren't amending, you were avenging.
Huh.
You were stopping all the wrongdoers you enabled as the Winter Soldier because you thought it would bring you closure. I'm sure there's at least one person in that book who needs closure about something, and you're the
no.
Start with one.
Save one life.
Good talk.
It was.
Using that VA knowledge.
Yeah, man.
Groups.
Yeah.
Karli, real quick.
You call me when you have a lead and I'll be there.
Dude.
Yes.
This was an amazing scene.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's probably my favorite scene.
Yeah,
This
dude.
whole show. This is great.
Each out to carve his own path. Oh no.
I am in love with this. This is so good. Yeah! Oh, no.
Gotta get that coordination.
God, when that shield comes flying back, the way they capture that.
3D.
I know.
Just one shot, they should make his sweat all orange and have like a Gatorade commercial.
The kids were on his left.
They're on his left.
Oh, it's so cool. That is not Anthony Mackie.
That is not Anthony Mackie, but that's fine. Still a guy who can do a great stunt.
What are we doing here?
I got some help to even out the odds. Sam screwed him out of a small fortune.
Oh.
So she did it. She's working with the Flasgsmashers.
Flag smashing.
Yeah. Sharon Carter's working with the Flasgsmashers. Damn.
Whoa.
It's like that Improv City YouTube channel.
What's sufficient? They can't stay where
Flagsmasher.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's the new Hail Hydra for this show.
It's gonna turn into that Run the Jewels music video.
Picture this.
Oh, is this gonna be a new suit?
Oh, I think it might be. Maybe it's the wings, but in Captain America colors. Oh no. No. No! No!
What a patient episode.
Yeah.
Starts off with a bang, and then we really slow it down. Time to change, heal, reflect, contemplate, decide.
Consider your history.
Sharon Carter, man.
She's the power broker.
I think there's a post-credit scene.
There might be a post-credit scene. Oh no.
Is he building one?
Is he building his own shield?
It's like Iron Man.
Yeah, I know.
So I thought it right away. Yeah. Yeah, he's putting together a shield.
Oh, wow. Oh.
God,
no.
Dude.
No.
I'm not done yet. I'm Captain America. All right. Well, Jonathan.
That's me.
Walker. That is you.
Oh no, I am Captain America.
John Walker. He's making. Okay, well the Captain America shield's made out of adamantium. That shield's got to be made out of box of scraps.
Just junk metal. Yeah. It's made out of the same stuff the Iron Giant was eating before.
I was doing a reference to Iron Man 1.
I was just doing
box of scraps.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
And now with the camera shutter speed, you might be able to see that spit come out of my
all
mouth.
of, that like debris, like it's a Saving Private Ryan action scene, but spit. You get a lot of spit milestones.
Yeah, dude, totally. Yeah. So yeah, Man of Steel, probably that shield won't be as effective as his good old Captain America shield, but it'll be personal. Be personal for the guy.
Yeah.
This was my favorite Sam anything.
This is my favorite episode so far, I think.
It's a pretty great one.
Yeah.
It's a pretty damn great one. But yeah, as far as like the characters, especially for Sam Wilson, like this to me was, yeah. You're my new Captain America.
Yeah, man.
I could see my new cap right there.
Him really like traversing the gray. Like it's been interesting to watch this series grow, especially with the themes the very first episode brings up about him taking on the shield, him giving up the shield. Why did you give up the shield? Why did you skirt responsibility? And even just the things that Sam has learned, and this episode in particular, but over the course of this series, like you really do see a more sort of world-weary person in there now, and especially as he is like training with the shield at the end, like he came across different to me in his body language and stuff like that. Like it really does feel like he is kind of cresting out of Falcon into Captain America.
Well, this episode also really tied it together with Isiah Bradley, showing a big part of why Sam didn't want to take up the shield. He had his hesitations. There were feelings of lack of self-worth that seemed to be dealing with. However, there was that element. I think a scene that has been criticized was the scene where Sam and Bucky were, before they meet Isiah Bradley, or no, right after,
where the cops
pull them over, and they're like, oh, it felt like forced and shoved into here, and the way it was done. Whether you feel that way or not, I think the context of that scene is what's important, because the world that they live in, even in the Marvel Cinematic Universe world, post-blip, racism is still a very prevalent thing. Racism is still a very real thing that exists in this world. And forgive me for not remembering correctly, I don't really recall anything with Sam Wilson in the movies dealing with racism, like his character having to deal with being a black man in this world. To have this scene with Isiah Bradley, you see why he really cared so much about the Isiah Bradley situation, you know, more than just personal matters. Immediately, it's just a fucked up situation, right? And then when you go into the conversations about it, I love that they address both the debate about it. It's not just, hey, Steve chose you, take up the shield. Everything that Isiah Bradley's talking about, you could see why so much of that weighed on him as well. Like Bucky says it flat out. We never, me and Steve and I never even really thought about what it must have been like for you, a black man, to have to take up the Captain America shield, because I can imagine if you become Captain America, there's already a target on your back. And I can only imagine how much worse it must be if you are a black man who has to take up the Captain America shield. How many more targets are suddenly on your back because of that?
Oh yeah, I mean, how many more people are going to take issue with the very fact that you've ascended this mantle? And it's interesting to watch through a character like John Walker how much is just thrust at and upon you when something like that, like, it must be a reward in some way. Like, it must feel like amazing to be chosen for that, but at the same time, yeah, it's like if it's hard on a character like Walker, imagine all the extra layers that then would come to a character like Sam, or even worse for a character like Isiah Bradley before him. Because like that scene is beautiful in a lot of ways, because I think it too hones in on something that I'm in no way an expert on, but I have, you know, kind of seen in the conversation around, which is also the generational gap between people who have been a part of the struggle for so long and have seen the parts of it that have not changed over so much time and effort, but, you know, the newer generation is here to kind of pick up the torch and keep on you know, advancing the fight and whatnot. And I like that they allowed for both Sam and Isiah to kind of, you know, I mean, Isiah says his piece and he tells his story and Sam takes it in. It's still matriculating throughout the episode as to, you know, his decision. Like, they have that conversation with his sister at the end where she's like, don't let Isiah Bradley get in your head. And it's like, it doesn't negate his experience and his story to say that. That stuff is still horrific, but at the same time, it's like, don't let him dismantle the fight that you know is the right one, you know, here and now, being a person of this time that we're in. And so, yeah, that level of history, like when they're talking behind the house and he's like, you know, the Tuskegee Airmen, they fought for this country, they came back only to have crosses burned on their lawns, and for Sam to be like, I understand that part of it, but it's for you being like the superhuman, like why couldn't you? And like that harkens back to the first part of this show where Sam, you know, is having all this trouble despite the fact that he's an Avenger and he's done all this service to the world. And so to see those echoes, you know, in a lesser extent now, but still effective, you know, and really, you know, brought to harsh light through Isiah Bradley's story is like really striking. Yeah.
Absolutely. It was very striking. Because that Isiah Bradley, first off, let's just take a step back. Isiah Bradley, who's the actor that plays him?
Carl Lumley.
Amazing monologue.
Oh yeah,
great delivery. You can see that actor clearly created the memories. Everything he's talking about, he's reliving it in his own head. Yeah. And you could feel the memories on display just in everything about his delivery, from his tonality of his voice, the expressions that he has, the love lost. It's like he's doing the whole Isiah Bradley origin tale in this beautifully delivered monologue.
And we don't need to cut to anything.
We don't. Yeah, I was like, are we going to cut to stuff? And I thought it's more powerful to not cut to stuff and to actually work off of the reactions that Sam Wilson is giving him during the conversation and the very minimal dialogue. You know, there's a big part of acting of like, I think, of having that good listening face. A big part of acting is listening and reacting. And I think Anthony Mackie has a great listening expression. Like, he's really hearing the other actors, and then his delivery is based off of listening, taking it in, and letting the dialogue come out that way. You can just feel that in the way how he does all of his lines. Yeah. But yeah, with Isiah Bradley's monologue, I like what you brought up about the generational gap thing. It's absolutely true, and I think applicable in this conversation. You know, but there's also the more extreme sides of things, of the time in which Isiah Bradley was here, saving his own brothers in war, and then being persecuted for doing the right thing, and then being enslaved for 30 years, and then losing the love of his life, never getting a chance to connect with her thinking he's like, he had the opposite route of Steve Rogers.
And in doing like what you think is right at all costs, he learned it doesn't work out well for everybody. You know,
I could just see someone coming in here being like, yeah, but how do we know any of that was because of his race? Like,
what if actually
like, this is not actually race identity politics? And you can just see someone coming in there and saying that crap.
Well, what if there are a bunch of flashbacks just waiting to be released about how he was a terrible guy?
Where's the receipts? You know, where's there? You can just hear those people coming in there.
Yeah, but you know,
but it's there. It's there. It's absolutely there, and
it's here to harken to real history too.
100%. And I love that grounded, like, gritty approach at this show. That's why I'm glad we didn't cut away.
Yeah,
because it makes it feel more real instead of getting caught up in serums and all that.
Yeah. Well, and even just the way they were shooting a lot of that stuff, like they really emphasized the glass in this episode, because there's that one shot where you're looking up and you see the shield in the case, and it's like you can feel the room and the intimacy of that, like even just in the way they captured it. Like, this was really alive despite how, you know, this isn't like necessarily the highest paced or most rollicking episode. It's the most intimate episode in a lot of ways, and yet so much of that felt so tangible and so plugged in due to how they chose to actually capture everything. You know?
I think how the show captures perspective is always wonderfully done.
Beautiful, yeah.
How they do it with John Walker in the beginning, even down to how they capture the freaking shield when Sam is training. Like
the way they capture the shield the entire time.
Every time there was those locked off shots from behind or when it's like over his shoulder, they don't do like POV shots, but it feels like you're in the POV.
It's still POV of like
but it's
that
bouncing
line,
back or forward. It has to dodge it. It's like,
and
whoa,
you feel the velocity.
That is scary. Like, especially because you're aware he's just a human. He doesn't have any serum. He doesn't have any super soldier abilities.
He has more in common with John Walker than any of his associates right now.
Technically speaking, yeah. I thought the direction of it was so powerful every step of the way. With Sam, you know, like him having to make, I love the speech that he gives to Bucky. You get with Bucky, I was really moved and very touched by how Bucky was talking about why it hurt him so much when he gave up the shield. The conversation that they couldn't have when they were having the staring contest with the therapist, they had that conversation here.
Yeah. They had the what is this really all about from both sides.
Yeah. For him to talk about how, like, when you give up that shield, I felt like a friend left me. Like, he's having such a difficult time adjusting to the world and creating connections that his heart is still connected to these nostalgic elements, like this book, the shield, but there's no person there anymore. It's just items. It's nostalgic items and memories associated with it. That's where his love is, where he has a hard time just connecting with the people around him. You know, I love that line about he's not amending, he's avenging, because that's kind of all he knows what to do, you know? So him having to learn how to just, like having that line of it doesn't matter what Steve thinks. In a way, Sam is giving this advice to Bucky, but he's also kind of saying it for himself. He has to choose as well. Because I think, to me, it didn't feel like he really made the full decision, Sam, to take up the mantle until the final moments when he opens up what I'm assuming is his new suit.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's probably a Captain America suit with some Falcon's wings on it.
That's
right?
Yeah.
It's gotta be. Or just a new suit for the shield, right?
Yeah.
That's when I think he's making the decision fully. But I think even then when he's toying around, playing with the shield, setting up the pads and all that jazz, going on the runs, like he's still building himself up to, like, is this the path? Is this the path?
I do this? Yeah.
But then when it comes time to, okay, Flasgsmashers are here. I'll take it from here. Boom. That's here where he fully arcs.
Yeah.
And then next episode, whoosh, shows up.
And just kills all the Flagsmashers. Just as violently. Oh man, it really is hard. I don't even need it. It really is hard to keep your cool in these situations. Damn. Oh, everyone's got me on tape.
Isiah Bradley shows up.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Just ruin all the goodwill they created in the first 5 episodes.
Yeah, Buck. I love Sebastian Stan's support. Like he played supporting in that role, and like he has great listening moments too. And I love the newly established chemistry between the two. I constantly, if I give a criticism on an episode of a show, I do always clarify with, but we gotta wait how a whole season wraps up. These days, usually you gotta judge television now by a season, not by episodes and installments solely, especially for shows like this. And the thing that we were missing about bringing it back to Sam and Bucky, I'm like, oh damn, they brought it all back to Sam and Bucky. This is all Sam and Bucky right here, and their established connection. Bucky getting a taste of his lifestyle and his community was just so grand.
Yeah, well, I mean, this episode kind of had everything I wanted because, like, you know, I've enjoyed everything they've been working with and building up into this point, but this one was such a satisfying episode in terms of character, where it is like we're going back to Sam's roots, especially. We touch a little bit back onto Bucky's roots with the talk they have about making amends and whatnot. We know that we'll probably see that happen in the next episode. Like, his sister's back, we're doing that. Like, I loved when they brought the community together to help restore the ship, the boat. It's like a moment where his clout and his position finally pays off and stuff like that. And it's,
well, he wasn't even really relying on the Falcon clout. He was relying on the family history
just
clout.
Like just like
parents,
the community. And yeah, like to bring it back to all that and to really ground this episode in character before we, you know, go and pop off and do the big world-saving stakes and all that. Like, it really did feel like it homed back in for a minute.
Well, it's like the calm before the storm.
Yeah. But it really had like this aspect that felt like it was at least for Sam and Bucky, it felt restorative in a lot of ways.
Oh, great way to put it, yeah. Restore the Bucky and Sam verse.
Restore the Bucky and Samiverse. Let the White Wolf back into Wakanda. Come on.
Love that line. It's like, when is Bucky taking trips to Wakanda? How often is he going to Wakanda?
Does he have the means to do that?
Maybe. I mean, if anyone does, he probably knows how to do it. But then, yeah, the Zemo moment.
Yeah.
That played out almost. I mean, I didn't expect the Dora Milaje to show up, but that makes the most sense. But yeah, I was like, looking back, just like, yeah, he lets him go in that moment, right? It's part of his arc. So that wasn't a surprise. It was still a really well executed moment. Still a beautifully done moment. You know, it's like, that just means there's going to be more Zemo.
Yeah, man.
I mean, the last time we saw Thunderbolt Ross was at Tony Stark's
Widow
Tony Stark's funeral, but it was in Civil War at the Raft, right?
Yeah,
I think it was. Anyway,
and he's just been there this whole
time. He just never leaves.
Like, I'm waiting for
Serum, damn Banner, and what do I not like?
I'm gonna wait here until they all come to me. It's gonna happen.
I think they're building up Thunderbolts.
That's gonna happen.
It looks like what they're building up.
Yeah, that would put the perfect opportunities. Seeds are laid.
True.
Words, sentence. It's just made some kind of sense. You can figure it out.
John Walker. What a powerfully written character. He is so He has this like constant disgust. Like disdain. Every time he's just communicating, like this fed up.
He's just been pushed too
vermin
far
in his way. Like, I love it.
Like, and when he is in the hearing, like, you could tell, like, that is everything this character has wanted to say since the very first episode, practically. Because you see, like, I feel like his character is a great window into a person who also has to, who has to carry such a big mantle. Because whenever you check back in on John Walker when he's not in a situation, they really do, at least for me, manage to pull you into that character just on a human level, where it's like, even if I'm not with him, I can super sympathize in a lot. Like the scene where he goes to talk to Lamar's family was a great scene, and it reminded me of, like, yeah, the core essence of who this guy could have been as a good person. But now it seems like, yeah, this job that was given to him, this task that was presented to him, was just too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems all-consuming, and there are certain roles that people get to play in life. Not that it's exactly the same, but like when people rise or are chosen for that level of power and responsibility, it can be crushing.
It's interesting.
The tragedy,
Interesting to have that scene with Isiah Bradley before, where he's talking with Sam about, like, people been chasing that white hope ever since Steve got that serum. Captain America's shield and all that, and then cut to Lamar's family, and they start talking with John Walker about, like, oh, when you got the Captain America mantle and you got the shield, like,
he was so proud of you.
He was so proud. Yeah.
He called me every day.
All he could talk about was that. There's more nuance to that because of it's not just what Isiah Bradley was talking about, it's because of the relationship and the connection that Lamar and Walker have with each other. I think it's so nuanced, and I think the revealing aspects of his performance do showcase, the serum reveal, like what you just said, how these are things that he's always thought and wanted to say, and the serum is what's revealing his true self. That's what's coming out of him.
Yeah.
That's why it was important that Abraham Erskine chose someone with a damn good heart. But I love everything Y. Russell does, easily.
Yeah.
I'm a tad concerned. I am a tad concerned. Like, it didn't do it here. I'm worried that we're gonna pop in the next episode and lose a lot of that nuance.
I hope not, but I can see.
You're right, you can see a version where they just go, screw it, I'm bad.
I don't want him to come back as some kind of monstrosity.
Yeah.
Like, the thing that's compelling about that hearing scene is like, even though we as the audience can see what decisions he made, and it's even.
But you still feel like he's getting dicked over.
You do,
even though it's the right thing to do. You're like, but damn, they take no responsibility.
Yeah, and it's that thing of when I thought it was great when they were cutting in on the GRC like conference before they have the vote, where nothing is quite live yet, and they're all talking amongst themselves, and they're like, we got to think about how the optics of this are and what it looks like to everyone on the outside. And then Julia Louis-Dreyfus is that thing about, like, these suits, like, all they have, they're big money issues to deal with, and you really do feel that in that scene of, like, it's hard because I'm sure governing and anything to do with geopolitics is hard. hard and nuanced and difficult. But at the same time, it seems like, yeah, you've completely hung this dude out to dry and not accepted any of your part. And so in that moment, yeah, you do, I felt for John Walker in the sense that it's like, yeah, I don't think he should be Captain America. I don't think he should be able to keep the shield. But at the same time, they're completely cold about it, and they seem not to acknowledge, again, the human stuff that is so crucial to all these scenarios.
See, I think this show can play it fair a lot of the time and take the opportunity to talk about perspectives on things. Yeah. It would be very easy to write John Walker out to be someone who's this like hardcore conservative.
Yeah, he's like a rah-rah.
Yeah, and then like do some type of white supremacy commentary to complement the Isiah Bradley character's beliefs and point of views and what he's had. Like, it could have been very easy to go that path, but they don't do that.
Yeah.
I know some people have taken to Twitter and have concluded that that's the case with John Walker. I don't think that's the case at all. There might be some certain privileges that have been dealt his way. However, he's definitely not a racist character.
You can apply it to
you don't really get into his beliefs about people in society. You don't really get into that about people in society with his beliefs and stuff.
Yeah.
I think some people have been projecting that, and maybe because also with the comics of what John Walker has expressed about his thoughts and point of views, that's probably being applied here too, but it's not present in the show itself. So I think it's interesting to end episode 4 and go, that's a terrible thing. Steve Rogers never would have done that. This is why you can't be Captain America. I get it. Like, yeah, you were pushed. I understand why you were pushed that far. Same time, there's a responsibility you got to uphold, and you murder a man in cold blood when you didn't have to kill him. And then to go to the next episode and be like, damn, you guys didn't even give him a shot. You guys never cared about him.
So quickly,
you immediately go to,
like,
I feel kind of
I'm
bad for the
sorry,
guy
man,
now.
it's all your fault. You're going to be dishonorably discharged. You're going to have no life after this. You know? You got nothing from us. Thanks, bye.
Yeah, they gave him nothing, left him hanging dry.
And it broke my heart all the more when he has to talk to Lamar's family and basically tells a gigantic white lie about like,
they killed
the guy got his job. Like, not even that. Like, I feel like if that was actually true, maybe things would be a little different for John Walker right now. But like, it's very tragic. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the fight was cool. There's a lot we haven't talked about the fight. Yeah, the fight was really well choreographed too. I love the implementation of what they've done with Falcon's wings in the fight scenes. One of my favorite moments of that when he's trying to he's locked onto the shield and then Walker's feet are up in the air, like the wire effects on how they're doing. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know how to explain that, but yeah, when that whole sequence I thought was really well choreographed and them working together. And I love that moment where Bucky like drops the shield right next to him.
Oh, well, and they make the shield such a menace. Like throughout the episode, they gave it such presence, but especially then when it's still got the blood all over it, like the way they shot that, man, like.
Well, they brought this whole this episode in particular was brought back to what the first episode talked about, which is about, you know, what does the shield mean? What is the symbolism behind it? And at the end of the day, what the symbols stem from who the people are, you know, behind it. That's the symbolic thing. It's like the shield can mean a lot of different things, but it really depends on who's holding the shield and what they do with the shield. That's how symbol is applied.
Yeah.
That's when they're doing like the montage with Sam and everything. I was like, damn, I'm my captain. And he walks away from Bucky when they're like having their little buddy cop banter, like we're not partners, whatever. But he's walking away, you're like, oh shit, he Captain America.
He's arcing. He's arcing.
Loved it. And yeah, Sharon Carter, a little bad, working with the Flasgsmashers, Batroc,
and Leaper.
He's like, ooh, I want to get back at Falcon
I
for
want
what he
revenge.
did to me. Yeah, I want
he
the
wants
Falcon.
revenge.
Okay. Cool.
That's cool. And then we got Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
We'll see how that goes. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who does she play? Let's look at that.
3:28 a.m.
Cut to 45 minutes later, we've read all the comics about Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine.
My favorite character now. I'm so excited to watch her do various martial arts and be involved in covert operations of sorts.
Femme fatale character of sorts, was once Nick Fury's girlfriend.
Oh, hey,
love interest.
and maybe even gonna show up in the Black Widow movie. Ooh, who knows?
Probably. He's gonna start Femme Force.
Uh-oh, look out, getting too woke, Marvel.
Too woke. One step at a time every 10 years.
Whoa, you're gonna have two prominent female characters on dubious sides of the law in one show? What are we doing here, Marvel?
Quit pushing your identity politics down my throat by basing your movies off of the source material. I'm just excited for Louis-Dreyfus is here. She's won so many Emmys and Golden Globes. Like, she's such a talented actress.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she was great in that scene.
And I was a little distracted because I'm like, it's Julie Louis-Dreyfus. I'm so used to seeing her do comedy. You know, like I was so enveloped in that aspect of it. But she wasn't doing like a super serious take. You know, she was bringing her Julia Louis-Dreyfus humorous chops to the role.
She's playing the kind of role you hire somebody we know for comedy to stretch out in. Yeah, you know.
But seemed like she's a setup for something.
Yeah, maybe she's the power broker.
That was part of what pulled me out of it. Her scene too was like, I feel like you're here to set up a bigger world thing for something that's gonna happen in a different Marvel property.
X-Men, Mephisto, Doctor
I mean, she could be linked to Secret Invasion. Like what we quickly read was how at one point, you know,
Skrulls wanted her to spy on Nick Fury for info. Or whatever, right?
A Skrull impersonated her.
Or impersonated her. There you go.
Oh god, I can't wait for those fans. There's gonna be theory videos. She's probably a Skrull. She's a Skrull.
She's a Skrull.
Skrull. Everything leading up to Secret Invasion. There's gonna be so many Skrulls.
Everyone's a Skrull.
Everyone's a Skrull.
John
You're a
Walker's
Skrull.
a Skrull. Sam and Bucky, both Skrulls. None of this is all taking place off of Earth.
That post-credit scene in Spider-Man: Far From Home. Everyone's a Skrull now.
Ruined everything.
Everyone's a Skrull or Mephisto. So
and it's all in the multiverse. So really, there's infinite versions of all of them.
And Karli seems like she just morphed into bad. She's just bad now. I'm like, what the hell? Like, where's her nuance? I mean, she had the nuance moment in like what it's gonna take to be citizens of the planet, but that final moment with the working with the criminals, I'm like, you just seem like that one charming long-haired guy. He's always there to be like, what are you doing, Karli? I don't quite get it. Why you do this noise, Karli? And then she's like, yeah, but this is how they do things.
That's
their
a great reenactment. Well,
I love Karli's scenes and I love Karli, but then her scenes are like, what are you doing, Karli? Oh, what are we gonna do?
That is perhaps one thing that does not benefit so much from just so much focus goes to other things in this episode that when you check in with the Flagsmashers, it does feel a little bit like, okay, here's a couple plot beats and we'll see you next episode. I wonder how much there is to that theory that like Eric Voss has brought up and stuff about them having to take out or recontextualize a certain amount of the Flagsmasher plot due to real world events. So I wonder if it maybe suffers because of that. Because like we've dealt with versions of that in the past of them going to these extreme efforts. Obviously she and Sam literally talk about it, and now it seems like the even more elevated version of that. It's in New York, holy crap. But also it's like, okay, well, you're in villain mode now, and that's kind of all the time we have for you. Whereas like the only complaint maybe is like, maybe this show could have been 7 episodes and we could have gotten a little bit more with these Flagsmashers to really make the argument that much harder, basically.
Well, I feel like with Karli specifically, because everyone's like saying we got to kill Karli. No one's even saying we got to kill the Flagsmashers. People are saying
cut off the head, and then no more will grow back because they're not Hydra.
Exactly. Yes. So Karli, I think what's happening here is Falcon is the only one who's like, no, we got to get through to her, and everyone's like, no, she got to die. Even Bucky's even in conflict, like, hey, Zemo's saying, we gotta kill her.
He's the expert on super people.
So I think part of the growth and demonstration of, because it's like you think of Captain America, he would do everything he can. He's like Naruto.
Or Doctor Who.
If you guys have seen Naruto or Doctor Who or the Doctor, like if there's an opportunity to save a life, even if it's to change someone
or to give someone the chance to make a better choice,
they will do whatever they can first to make sure. I know that's part of like the Captain America values. So I think that's gonna be part of the demonstration. That's
gonna be tense. Oh man,
Naruto is how you say it, by the way. Before I get a bunch of crap, Naruto.
Naruto. You a fan of that Naruto?
I'm a fan of that Naruto.
I love Naruto. And Rick Lee.
Yeah, when Naruto and Midoriya fight each other.
Dude, all you need then is gone. Is gone. Yeah, you gotta get gone. Dude, throw light Yagami in there. Why not? Who cares, dude? Let's get some Gundams in there. Let's get like a Dragon Ball or 2. There's been one character I've been trying to name this whole time. It's just not coming in my mind. It's like the other show that's just as big as it's Avatar. There you go. Aang. We did it. This was the part you were all waiting for.
All right, guys. Well, we're done for today.
It's a good-ass episode.
I hope some of you stayed around for this part of the conversation.
Great
because
episode.
We talked a little while. Leave your thoughts down below. Subscribe. Click that notification bell. Is the show too woke for you?
Keep your politics out of my life.
Keep your source material out of my comic
Keep your source material. Keep the function of these allegorical parallels out of my storytelling, all right? I want nothing of enrichment or probing, challenging themes. Leave it.
Leave it.
Leave it. Make me feel good and affirm what I already think. Patron of the day shout.
And
Daniel Gallagher. Daniel, don't do it, man. Don't take the super soldier serum. I know somebody spilled a few vials in the pharmacy in Scotland where you work. It's a shout out for you, buddy. You know where this was headed. But we're gonna zoom into the pharmacy and we're gonna reveal that this pharmacy is not just any Scottish pharmacy, all right? This place is home to dark secrets you couldn't imagine, all right? We're talking experiments on people. We're talking about international secrets being traded. And I know it all falls on you, Daniel. You gotta get the prescriptions right. You gotta provide good customer service. You gotta be friendly, but also efficient. And the whole world's on your back. Well, you know what? I believe in you. And I want to be your Lamar. So Daniel Gallagher.
My Lamar.
Oh, shit. I can be both your Lamar. Okay, I'll be your Lamar and I'll be your Bucky because that's a much lower impact commitment. Theoretically. This whole episode, Bucky was like, yeah, if you figure out anything about Karli, just call me. I'm leaving. So. That's what I got out of this. I love you, buddy. And don't take this serum.